So this, my friends, is the Rossi XV 163. Conditions just sucked up at the mountain, so just playing around here in my office and trying to make something work for you guys. To give this a quick summary, this has been a hard snow favorite for years. It is more than just a hard snow favorite. It is an amazing free ride board that you know, is equally comfortable in powder and groomers. Doesn't really excel at any one thing, but has a nice tapered directional feel that requires more weight on the back foot on groomers, but a lot less weight in powder. Rides much bigger than you would think on powder, but much smaller than you would think on groomers for its size. This is a 63, and the 67's actually no problem. So if you're asking, should I get the bigger size? Yes, get it. It turns and handles so much better than you would think for its size, and it's a great ride, especially for those who want to be ready for ice as well as powder. So let's get into the flex. It's been a while since I rode this. It's been a few years, and maybe 2, I think. So, you know, it's got that kind of medium stiff flex. It's softer in the tail, really easy to butter off the tail when you lean back. And it kind of starts about right here, this softer flex. But on the camber, it feels pretty stiff. It buttered off the tail a lot easier than you would think for its flex. This on snow feel, it's tapered. It feels a little washy off the tail, more so than you would think for its amount of taper. I've ridden boards with much more taper that feel much less washy, but it's that typical stable hybrid camber board. Check the on the table review, you can see it's got that, you know, stable feeling, one footing and flat basing, but needs a little more back weight on groomers, but then needs a lot less back foot weight in powder. So that's kind of cool. The edge hold on this is exceptional. It's just, look at those, just, you know, look at the grooves in the side cut. There's just so much disruption going on, and it really grips in just about anything. You just have to weight the tail properly, and then it does its job. But that's like all free ride board, almost all free ride boards. The turn initiation is so much faster than you would think for a 163, especially like this. But when you lay it on the edge and really engage that side cut, you can circle carve pretty easy with this. Years ago, the first time I tried it and laid into a really hard circle carve, I came right back around and almost hit Jimbo. And it was amazing how well this circle carves for its size. It's pretty cool. You know, I set this up this time 18 front and +3 back, and just that little touch of angle put a little more pressure up here. And when I was driving out turns and stuff, I felt less of that softer tail. So, and that Xavier stance, maybe that's why it worked so well. It's not the springiest and powerful, but it carves the same in almost every condition. You can really go out where other people are washing out in hard snow. You can just rail this. So maybe it might not have the spring and power out of a turn, like some boards with a little more camber going on. But when those boards with a lot more camber going on start losing their edge, it doesn't really matter. So it's kind of, you know, speed. This thing can bomb, and it's got this kind of, you know, dampening properties, you know, kind of like the rest of the XV line here. In there, you know, ABS sidewalls, I believe, and the thing can bomb. The base doesn't have the best glide, and especially comparing it to some other free ride favorites that I had while I was riding this, I found that this had a slower base, and I waxed it, but it kept its speed good enough. It's really not like a deal breaker, but and especially in hard snow, this thing's just gonna fly. But in softer, wetter snow and powder and varying spring conditions, the base just didn't seem like, I wish they could do a little more for the base. And, you know, riding switch, works. it's not great. Riding powder, yeah, these are kind of more fun in powder, but if you want that big old, long, kind of gunny free ride board in powder, it's very competent. There's a lot of rocker before the nose, and a good amount of taper in the tail. And check the on the table review for the setback on board. It's pretty far back from center, and kind of what it should be for a free ride board. So this thing really jams in powder and has good directional float, and a very good traditional free ride kind of floaty feel in powder. And it can turn in tight spots. It can ride in trees. It can bang down wide open steep wide open steep faces, and kind of do it all. But overall, it's a just a very amazing hard snow kind of ride. So there you have it, the Rossi XV. And if you're wondering what this little guy is, that's for his truly to stick a rope through and carry his board up just gnarly shit that he's climbing with ice axes, stuff that you and I will never do in our life. And if we do, we're most likely to die.